My name's Ty Kim. I'm a second-year master's student at OT, Chan Division, USC. From a Korean family, born in Florida. Both of my parents were first-generation Korean students here going to college. I'm actually an emancipated youth, so I left my family when I was in high school, and that was just the best situation for me. And financially, it was tough, but kind of figured it out. Went through undergrad, worked for a couple of years, and decided that OT is something I want to pursue, so here I am. When I was applying to undergrad colleges, in FAFSA, I filled out, my dad's halfway across the world, my mom is, I'm not really sure where she is. FAFSA kind of threw money at me to just go to college, so I actually went to undergrad fairly easily and came out not quite debt-free, but in a financial situation that was kind of enviable compared to some other students who had financial income coming in from their parents. So I worked for 2 years after my undergrad, and I was actually debt-free by that time. So when I came back to USC, I was in a position where I'm debt-free now. Do I have to go back to grad school? Do I have to go back to higher education and put myself in the situation where I'm taking on additional debt again? So I would say that my situation can show that, hey, even if you have no financial background, even if you have no financial support, you can do it. But also for those students who have had financial support to go through undergrad and didn't come out with any debt, like what that looks like in terms of how do I get back into that boat. So that first year that I was here, I actually tried everything in my power to limit that as much as possible. So I was a research assistant here, so I worked as a research assistant, made some money as a stipend and also in form of credits that I got. I received roughly 8 units of tuition for working for the division, and that was, honestly, once I got that offer, it was such a sweet feeling to know that, okay, not only am I learning from the division and learning with the professors that I have, I'm also working for them. I'm also seeing them 10 hours per week to see what that looks like. I would say maybe I got 25% of it covered, so that was definitely worth it. I still currently actually work for the undergrad campus, and I work there, and I had odd jobs on the side. I was trying to do everything in my power to give a reason that I could pay for it, but honestly it got to a point where I was spread so thin that it made more sense this year to kind of put that all aside and just kind of focus on my studies. And you would think that I'm putting myself in a worse financial situation, but it's honestly been more helpful in terms of just, yes, I took out more debt and took out more loans, but I feel better about my financial situation knowing that I'm really investing in my education. If it was any other master's program, I think I would have been uncertain, but I felt very at peace about where OT stood in my life for me. It's funny, one of the ways I found OT is I Googled, what did I Google? Like 10 jobs least likely to be taken over by robots in the future or something like that. And OT was like number 4 or something. I'm like, what is OT? I've been already studying kinesiology and psychology. What does OT look like? And I was all in, I was bought in. And to me, what getting a master's degree in OT meant is I was investing in my future. So it didn't really seem like, okay, so I'm going back into debt. Like, how does that look like? I worked so hard to get out of debt after undergrad. How do I reason myself that I can go back in debt? But it didn't seem like that way because my degree and my education will be that investment that I had no worry that it will work out. You Google OT school in US and first name that comes up is USC. Like, there is no way to compare it to the fact that this is the best place to study OT. You see the photos on the walls, you see the names in textbooks. It's USC. Like, there was no question in terms of where. I think it was more of a question of when. And after 2 years of working, after really deciding, okay, is OT the right path for me? After that, once I decided OT, USC was just synonymous with that.